Berita tentang komunis Tiongkok membangun kamp konsentrasi di Xinjiang untuk menahan sejumlah besar warga Tiongkok dari berbagai etnis terungkap media, langsung mendapat perhatian masyarakat internasional. Baru-baru ini sebuah video langka di internet mengungkapkan situasi di balik tembok kamp konsentrasi di Xinjiang. Situasi tersebut membuat bulu kuduk berdiri. Tidak seperti biasanya, komunis Tiongkok bersedia memberikan kesempatan kepada beberapa reporter media asing untuk berkunjung ke dalam kamp pendidikan ulang di Xinjiang. Meskipun para reporter media asing tak melihat suasana angker dalam kamp sebagaimana yang pernah dilukiskan media sebelumnya, namun mereka dapat merasakan adanya suasana yang disengaja diatur demi kepentingan kunjungan tersebut. Analisis media asing menyebutkan bahwa ini adalah teknik propaganda komunis Tiongkok. Tujuannya untuk menutupi fakta yang sebenarnya terjadi. Arslan, seorang aktivis hak asasi manusia etnis Uighur di Australia, pada 11 Oktober merilis video di akun Twitter. Videonya mengungkapkan adegan yang terjadi dalam kamp konsentrasi di Xinjiang. Menurut penjelasan si UYGHUR si empunya video, pejabat komunis Tiongkok memimpin jurnalis Tiongkok untuk mengunjungi kamp konsentrasi di Xinjiang dan juga mengunjungi ruang penyiksaan. Sebagaimana yang terlihat dalam video tersebut, seorang sipir memperkenalkan kepada pengunjung satu persatu ruang dalam penjara, termasuk berbagai alat yang digunakan untuk menyiksa tahanan yang ditempatkan di lantai. Ada juga yang digantung di dinding ruang. Di ruang tahanan yang lain, kamera secara khusus menyoroti kedua ruang tertutup yang tingginya kira-kira 1 meter dengan lebar sekitar 0,5 meter. Bentuknya menyerupai kandang binatang. Dapat dibayangkan bahwa jika seorang tahanan dijebloskan ke ruang itu, dalam waktu yang lama tentu akan sangat menyakitkan. Bulan lalu 2 orang warga etnis Kazakh yang dibebaskan oleh komunis Tiongkok mengungkapkan fakta kepada dunia luar. Ia menceritakan tentang pengalaman pribadi mereka sewaktu ditahan dalam kamp pendidikan ulang di Xinjiang. Dikabarkan bahwa di bawah tanah sekitar 20 meter, beberapa bangunan penjara ada tahanan yang dimasukkan ke dalam kurungan besi yang ditempatkan dalam ruang tahanan. Selama itu yang bersangkutan juga mengalami berbagai siksaan. Mereka juga mendapat perlakuan buruk dari sipir. Ada tahanan yang disuntik secara paksa, divaksinasi dengan vaksin yang tidak diketahui. Mirisnya beberapa orang kehilangan kesuburan mereka. Pada bulan Juli tahun ini, seorang sumber yang memahami masalah memberitahukan kepada Epoch Times tentang hal langka dari kamp pendidikan ulang Xinjiang. Seperti yang ia tuturkan bahwa kamp pendidikan ulang komunis Tiongkok sepenuhnya dikelola sebagaimana rupa. Para pimpinan puncaknya sebagian besar adalah para pejabat dari Keamanan Nasional atau Kantor 610, sebuah organisasi ilegal komunis Tiongkok yang menganiaya Falun Gong. Juga dibantu oleh para pejabat yang dimutasi dari agen keamanan publik. Bukan hanya warga etnis Uighur saja yang ditahan di dalam penjara, tetapi juga berbagai kelompok orang seperti para praktisi Falun Gong, umat Kristen, tak peduli apa etnis mereka. Tak hanya etnis minoritas tetapi termasuk etnis Han. Dalam beberapa tahun terakhir, komunis Tiongkok telah memanfaatkan kamp konsentrasi yang namanya diubah menjadi kamp pendidikan ulang. Lagi-lagi untuk menahan semua kelompok etnis dalam skala besar dan menganiaya mereka. Komunis Tiongkok telah dikutuk keras oleh komunitas internasional. Mantan Sekretaris Negara Kanada untuk Asia dan Pasifik David UYGHUR dan pengacara hak asasi manusia internasional David Matas telah lama secara independen menyelidiki pengambilan paksa organ dari tubuh hidup oleh komunis Tiongkok. Mereka sangat khawatir dengan apa yang sedang terjadi dalam kamp konsentrasi. David UYGHUR mengatakan, ada banyak bukti menunjukkan bahwa pemerintah Tiongkok sedang menjalankan sebuah industri besar, yakni industri penyediaan dan penjualan organ manusia dengan cara membunuh orang, membunuh tahanan. Isi Falun Gong adalah kelompok korban terbesar, tetapi sekarang dikhawatirkan juga terjadi dengan para warga Tibet. Tentu saja juga terhadap warga etnis Uighur. Apa yang dialami oleh warga Uighur, berapa banyak dari mereka yang dibunuh karena organ dalam tubuhnya perlu diambil. Baru-baru ini pemerintah AS telah berulang kali mengeluarkan peringatan keras untuk memberi sinyal kepada otoritas Tiongkok. Administrasi Trump menegaskan bahwa hak asasi manusia dan prinsip lebih penting daripada perdagangan. Pada 7 Oktober, Kementerian Perdagangan AS mendaftarkan 28 lembaga keamanan publik dan perusahaan yang terlibat dalam penindasan etnis minoritas di Xinjiang dalam daftar hitam. Lembaga itu termasuk Departemen Keamanan Publik Daerah Otonomi Xinjiang Uighur dan 19 lembaga afiliasinya, Hikvision, Cicang Tahua Teknologi, dan 8 perusahaan komersial. Menteri Perdagangan Amerika Serikat Wilbur Ross dalam sebuah pernyataan menyebutkan, pemerintah AS dan Kementerian Perdagangan tidak dapat dan tidak akan mentolerir penindasan brutal komunis Tiongkok terhadap etnis minoritas. Pertama kalinya pemerintah AS memberlakukan kontrol ekspor dengan menyertakan urusan hak asasi manusia.
At least my videos on YouTube, they are raw material, real proof showing that the concentration camps are true. These are not schools, these are not vocational training centers, these are mass detention centers. The extremist authorities of Xinjiang are doing a horrible crime that we have not seen since the time of Hitler in Nazi Germany against the Jews. What the Communist Party of China is doing now in Xinjiang is what Slobodan Milosevic tried to do in Yugoslavia during the Yugoslav wars, who massacred certain ethnic and religious groups in order to get rid of.
Profesor Sejarah Albania Olsi Jazeksi awalnya meragukan laporan media barat tentang kamp penahanan suku Uighur di Xinjiang. Setelah memastikan bahwa ia adalah calon yang bisa dipercaya, Departemen Propaganda Partai Komunis Tiongkok mengundangnya ke Xinjiang bersama wartawan negara Arab lainnya.
Prisoners, they were scared to death, even though they were not Han Chinese, but they were Uyghurs and Kazakhs and what have you, and their native language was Turkic. They were afraid to speak their language, so they were always speaking Han Chinese or Mandarin, and during the whole time they were looking at their communist supervisors for guidance, so they were not free to speak whatever they wanted. For everything they had to look at them and see in their eyes and take commandments for them, you should what to answer and not to answer.
Tempat yang disebut sebagai pusat pelatihan profesi mengumpulkan anak-anak muda Uighur yang ketahuan berdoa di tempat umum, mengirim artikel ke situs web, menginstal WhatsApp, atau melakukan upacara pernikahan secara muslim. Semua biaya pelatihan ditanggung keluarga mereka.
我叔叔，我举报了我弟弟，然后民警对我单声谈话，给我告诉我的一项心愿属于极端心愿。
Chinese authorities did not allow us to go alone in public and to question and ask people, so we cannot say much on that. But what we understood was that people were very afraid to speak to foreigners. And in a number of occasions when we approached a number of people and we spoke to them, when we were alone, they were willing to talk to us. But as soon as they were seeing Communist Party officials coming after us, they were running away. So we have the impression that there is a very tense atmosphere of fear and terror that is existing in Xinjiang. And moreover, from the moment when you enter in the airport or when you go and visit a gas station or you see the roads, you see a massive police and military presence. So this region looks like is under a military occupation. And even though the Chinese authorities made everything they could to give us a positive impression, things were not looking good.
Profesor Olsi berkata, walaupun berasal dari negara bekas komunis Albania, ia belum pernah melihat penahanan skala besar seperti di sini.
My most shocking thing was that I've been in many crazy countries throughout the world. I was in Palestine a few months ago, but I've never seen a power like you have the government of China to mass discriminate and incarcerate her citizens.
Selama inspeksi, Profesor Olsi berkata para wartawan dipantau setiap saat oleh petugas.
Probably we had around 20 people supervising a group of 20 journalists. No, not 20, including the drivers and others. They should have been around 40 probably. After I made the interviews in the Wensi County concentration camp or vocational training center, how the Chinese call them, and the Chinese got very upset with me. After this moment, They were following me everywhere. Even when I was going in the washroom, I had two people standing in the front of the door of my washroom.
Anak-anak muda di kamp konsentrasi diatur untuk menyanyi dan menari di depan wartawan asing.
We, as a group of journalists, we understood that what they were showing to us was a circus. They were very worried with us, and before leaving, they warned us. They told us, I know that some of you might have seen things that you didn't like here, but when you go out of China, we do not want you to report something bad.
Profesor Olsi berkata, staf Partai Komunis secara khusus meminta mereka agar tidak menerima wawancara dari Epoch Times dan Radio Free Asia. Namun setibanya di Toronto, ia justru berinisiatif menghubungi Epoch Times. Ia juga secara langsung telah memperingatkan staf Partai Komunis.
What you are doing with the Uyghurs is going to mass radicalize them. It was a very fascist attitude towards diversity and other cultures.
Menurut Profesor Olsi, tindakan Partai Komunis lebih jahat dari organisasi teroris Taliban.
I told them you are worse than the Taliban. You are the opposite. If they are extremist Islamists, you are extremist atheists, and you want to force people to change their belief through violence.
The Chinese crackdown on Uyghurs and other Turkic people has only gotten worse. I'm going to break it down for you. You may have heard that China has detained millions of Uyghurs and other Turkic Muslims in torture-ridden concentration camps and prisons, where they are forced to denounce their religion and ethnic identity. Over a year ago, the UN claimed 1 million people were held in camps, but that number has risen. Uyghur activists now estimate at least 3 to 5 million people are held in camps. What you may not know is that this is all happening in an occupied nation called East Turkestan, or what China has renamed to as Xinjiang. In fact, Xinjiang means new colony. China calls the people of East Turkestan ethnic minorities, despite them being natives of the land for thousands of years. After occupying the land in 1949, China has been attempting to slowly wipe out the nation. China calling us ethnic minorities is their attempt of erasing us, because for the longest time, we were actually the majority of our homeland. Many people identify this as an act of cultural genocide, and it very much is. China is wiping out East Turkestan's history, including the fact that we are an occupied nation, its language, culture, and influential leaders. China is destroying our mosques, homes, and even graveyards and turning them into museums, parks, or parking lots. But this is all much more than a cultural genocide. There is ample evidence showing that it is physical too. There have been numerous reports of death, torture, forced sterilization, organ harvesting while prisoners are alive, people being drugged with unknown substances that cause memory loss and mental derangement, rape, and forced abortions. Children are forcibly separated from their parents and sent to orphanages, forcing them to become Han Chinese and adopting them off to Chinese families. Thousands of Turkic detainees are being rounded up at night, put into trains, and sent to parts of mainland China to never be seen again. One former survivor of the camp system, Mihrigul Tursun, described how in her cell of 68 women, 9 women died during the 3 months she was detained. Now imagine, how many people would be dead if there are possibly more than 3 million Turkic people in camps and prisons? A cultural genocide can become a physical genocide when the former becomes too costly. The international community must start calling it a physical genocide before it is too late, because cultural genocide is not a defined crime in international law. And history has shown us that we often act too late, once the atrocities have already fully taken place. Unfortunately, it's not until we start seeing the mass graves that we call it a genocide. Recently, China has responded by claiming that 90% of these detainees have been released. But in reality, when they are released from these camps, they are transferred to prisons and sentenced to massive prison terms, anywhere from 10 to 15 years to life imprisonment. Or they become modern-day slaves, forced to work in factories with little to no pay. Most governments have been forced to remain silent on this issue because of their business deals with China. The US recently issued visa bans on all Chinese government officials or Communist Party members who have been complicit in this genocide, as well as blacklisted 28 Chinese companies linked in the abuses. There is something you can do. Call your representatives to support HR 649, or the Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act, a proposal aimed to hold China accountable for their actions and to end the abuses occurring in East Turkestan. Assess your university's relationship with China and call them out if they are silent or directly complicit on this issue. Hold awareness events on campus. MIT has partnered with 3 major Chinese companies, iFlyTech, Huawei, and SenseTime, that have built the surveillance technologies being used to oppress and round up people into camps. Call out MIT for being directly involved with these crimes against humanity. Go to saveuyghur.org to learn more on what you can do to help.
We witnessed the totalitarian, the autocratic treatments, how the Beijing, they use their coercion on our crushing our human rights, crushing our freedoms. And that's why there is a similarity and there is a strong reason why Hong Kong people should stand up and help the Uyghurs to fight for their own rights as well.